too deeply? Or are you at the other end of the spectrum and switch off and feel dead inside? Or do you just swing between both of these experiences? I felt like I did that for years, either twisted with anxiety and sobbing in the shower, or completely disconnected from everything, including myself. Both a tortured way of being, both making me hate myself just a little more each day. So, if you see me today in awe of life, in love with my being, and devoted to encouraging you to take tiny steps towards freedom within yourself, do not get it twisted and be tricked into thinking easy for you to say, because let me tell you, it has not been easy for me, but it's been worth it. And you are so worth the effort too. My work now is in teaching women that it is entirely possible to integrate support systems into our lives that allow us to process feelings and emotions as they arise. Let's stop repressing, resenting, and exploding, okay? When we become truly aware of our own emotions and feelings, we might become a little overwhelmed by just how much arises. You will learn, and then it's important to remember that not every feeling and emotion that we experience is an indicator of absolute truth. What indicates the truth is your response to your feelings as they arise, and your response to feelings is based on the depth of connection to your own heart. I've spent a decade or more now, probably, sharing how to get physically fit. And now I'm making up for lost time and sharing more about working in, trying to support women in developing emotional fitness, working on the emotional body, not the physical form. When you are emotionally fit, things don't get to you in the same way as they did in the past. You're not just taken by every single thought, emotion, feeling, every single distraction. From your inner world through to your outer world, you begin to have what's known as loving awareness. From this place is where we work to release the grip of our conditioning, to not react and respond in the same old ways that have hurt us, kept us stuck, and made us feel miserable again and again and again. This process, this emotional fitness, like I'm calling it today, isn't so much about getting results. Rather, it's about removing things and clearly identifying what's not serving us and doing something about it. We remember our true awakened nature, which is actually filled with possibility and potential. We realize that things aren't as they appear, and usually they're much better, and their potential is endless. About 6 years ago, after I woke up to a lot of my own bullshit, I uprooted myself and went overseas on my own version of a spiritual cleanse. I removed all the things in my life that I relied on for comfort or as a distraction. And I spent just over a month feeling everything that I had denied up until that moment in time. It was overwhelming. Without a plan for how I was going to process everything that came up for me, there was a lot of crying on the floor of a hotel room shower, and then breaking my own commitment to sobriety and taking the edge off with Valium and Xanax, unprescribed, unmonitored, unaware of how powerfully I could actually move through everything I was feeling with the right practices to support me. There were moments that I thought I was broken and I couldn't be fixed. Each morning I would wake up groggy, thoughtless, uninspired. I'd witness myself rise, wash my face, drink coffee, get dressed, and get out the door. I'd walk, forcing myself to take in big breaths of air, waking my body up, shifting my energy, affirming the life that was in my body. I'd wonder why. How was it even possible with all of the suffering that felt like torture within me? How was it that I was still taking care of myself in this way? It was my heart, my true nature. At the base of my being was the truth. I was not giving up on myself. When I recognized there was a part of me that felt worthy and innately good, I began to realize that most of what I was thinking and feeling was a reflection of my conditioning and not who I truly was. From that place, from that loving awareness that I was able to activate, I began to relate to myself by communicating with the parts, serving what was at the base of my being. At that time in my life, I felt inspired by the essence of the Serenity Prayer, which is recited in the 12-step program for Alcoholics Anonymous. And it supported me in orienting myself each day to devote time and practice to not only feeling things, but to be able to discern what's real and what's not. Here's an adapted version of that prayer. I've made peace with the things I cannot change. I have the courage to change the things that I can, and I have the wisdom to know the difference. If there is a part of you that is suffering, I'm devoted to helping you acknowledge that you are deserving. You have all of the tools that you need, the community you need, the internal resources you need to be the best you. And if you truly don't feel like that is true in this moment, trust that whatever is missing is coming to you, my friend. You are enough. Of all the things that devoted inner work has gifted me, I think the fact that I live in a perpetual state of not giving a fuck has to be one of the best. I cannot count the number of times in a day I will think, feel, and say those words. I don't give a fuck. But I mean this in the most empowering and aware way. Giving zero fucks is declaring that I am enough. When we begin to work on ourselves, the things that feel really good to us might seem strange to others. Whatever you're doing that is helping you uncover your heart and to connect with what it's at the base of your being, do it unapologetically. Giving zero fucks doesn't mean that you don't care about other people or the world. It means you have a singular focus on taking care of you, which means believing in you, having your own back, not depending on the validation of others, and freely doing what it is you need to do to take care of yourself. What someone else thinks, believes, feels, expects of me, requires of me, says, does, or implies has nothing to do with me. I don't give a fuck. Giving zero fucks means that you are no longer driven by what others think. This doesn't mean that I'm just out there doing whatever I want, not bothering to notice or take care of the impact that's having on others. It's quite the opposite. I'm also in deep devotion to not perpetuating harm or causing harm to others, right? Both things can be true. Both things can coexist. Both things can be happening at the same time. I can truly not give a fuck in a way that allows me to live unapologetically, exposing and exploring more and more and more of what is real for me, what is true for me, without the filter or validation or approval of others. And simultaneously, I can be attuned to the needs of others. I can be conscious of the way that I move in the world and the impact and influence that I'm having. One doesn't necessarily counteract the other. Before I go today, I want to share with you something that I find tremendously helpful and something that I encourage quite a lot of my clients to develop as a regular practice. It's called an inspiration meditation. It's so simple. And this is why I feel confident in sharing it with you in this way today. So basically, in an inspiration meditation, we sit and we concentrate our mind on bringing forward an image of somebody that truly inspires us, someone whose qualities you admire. It can be someone you actually know in your life, or it can be someone that you've never met before, someone that you've just like read about or you know of, but you don't actually intimately know. That's okay. Whoever it is, we just want to bring to mind somebody that inspires us. And then we just let ourselves really, within our mind's eye, see that person. Maybe they're doing something specific, whatever it is that makes it feel like they are like really in your presence through the concentration of your mind. You do that. And then you let yourself feel gratitude and joy for the fact that this wise being has internalized all these qualities and is living their truth. And then you envision yourself embodying all of these same qualities. Visualize yourself now. Bring an image of yourself embodying those qualities to your mind's eye and imagine how you walk through the world, how you would communicate with people, how you would see yourself, how you would see the world once you have truly embodied these very qualities that you admire. What you witness in others is truly within you too. And I particularly love this inspiration meditation because it allows us to really leverage what's known as expander energy, that we look to what somebody else has embodied, and rather than feeling like we lack something because we have not yet embodied that same thing, we see it as inspiration. We see it as an invitation to notice what is also likely available to us through us as us. And we see it as an invitation to get curious about what we might have to let go of, or what we might have to do in order for us to create enough space and to generate enough newness in the way that we feel, or the thoughts that we think, or the action that we take, to begin to emulate and embody those same qualities. It truly is a really beautiful and powerful meditation practice. I love the way that we just, give deep reverence and recognition and thanks for the life of that being that inspires us, and simultaneously we inspire ourselves. All right, my loves, I hope you have heard something in this for yourself today. I hope that if you have, you reach out to me on Instagram. I'm just at Lena_Moxon. You let me know that this has resonated. You go ahead and share this episode if you feel like there are people within your orbit that would benefit from hearing it in the way that you have heard it today. Thank you. Cannot wait to connect with you again soon. Love you.